Here's Navarro on the run. Navarro's going to keep it. Navarro for 6. Touchdown, Bobcat.
I feel I had a hard time staying in my own lane.
Oh my goodness! Red Murdoch, pick 6.
Harvath inside the 30, the 20. Blake Harvath will score.
And Mendoza takes a big hit. He never saw it coming. Trey White got in there.
There's his man, Rucker. And nobody's going to catch him. Goodbye.
Intercepted.
Tyree Skipper. Touchdown.
Telly again, why not? A step forward and make it 2 for Telly.
Quarterback keeper. Showing off the speed. Steps on the gas. Untouched.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive, where we bring you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I'm Luke. No Justice today, as he had some surgery today. So it is just me, solo. So I'm going to do my best. I'm doing everything today. I'm taking the timestamps. I'm doing all the slides. I'm going to try my best to interact with the comments here. If you guys have something to say, I'll try to get it out there. Doing it all today. So big load on my shoulders today. But if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, give us a follow, a like, and a retweet. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. So let's get the slides back and let's talk about the American. Our Week 12 in review, we've got UTSA at Charlotte. UTSA was up 7-0 at the half, but held Charlotte to 67 total yards of compared to UTSA's 260. UTSA just had problems with execution. They had 5 possessions, 3 of which were an interception. One, UTSA was at the Charlotte 6. They had a missed field goal. They had turnover on downs when they were at the Charlotte 35. Execution in the third, just failure to do that continued for UTSA as they had 3 possessions. It was a missed field goal. It was a touchdown and a fumble. UTSA wins 28-7, but honestly, I don't know if you can say that a win is disappointing because a win is a win. But this was, I think, a disappointing win for UTSA and just kind of their struggles that they've had with turnovers on the year. Number 25, South Florida at Navy. This one was a fun one. Let's jump right to the end of the third, and it's 4th and 3 for Navy while they're up 24-16. They run a flea flicker and get a pass interference call. This drive would end in 3 points to extend Navy's lead to 11, 27-16. Later in the fourth quarter, Brown would pass out wide to the running back Davenport, who would then throw it to Kroger, their freshman, for a touchdown. Then Gramatica misses his first PAT of the year, and USF is down 4 with 6:14. Braxton Woodson, David just talked about it. He says, banger, Woodson was awesome. Absolutely. He was huge. He had a 64-yard touchdown run to go up 11 with 3:59 left. South Florida would strike quickly with a 41-yard passing touchdown from Brown to Rubin. I think Stanford transferred. They would convert the 2-point conversion, cut the lead to 3 with 1:55 left. They would do an onside kick, but Navy would recover. And then Woodson gets pushed to a first down. I think he was like 4 yards short or something. And that offensive line, it was like the tush push, but like just, I don't know, maybe not even the tush push, but like the Matt Leinart push from Reggie Bush. Like everyone was pushing Woodson. I thought they were going to call it dead at one point, and they just like let it kept going. It makes South Florida burn more timeouts. They burn the clock, and on 4th and 11, Woodson throws that. He runs back, throws it high, throws it out of bounds just to burn more time. However, the ball would land with 1 second left. UCF would throw it. and start their laterals, but Navy holds on for a huge 41-38 win. All right, now let's talk about Oregon State and Tulsa. Tulsa would score 2 touchdowns with their first 2 possessions and hold the Beavers offense to 79 yards and 0 points in the first half. The Golden Hurricane would lead 17-0 at half. I think I took Tulsa on the points last week. Just as I would not be surprised if Tulsa just flat out wins this. The Beavers would start Jabari Johnson at quarterback. However, they would turn to Malik Murphy after the half, and then in the fourth, they would turn to true freshman quarterback, Tristan Tia, as it was 31-0. Tristan would finish the game and lead 2 touchdown scoring drives. Tulsa wins. Justice is right. 31-14. Dominic Richardson set a career high in rushing yards with 166 rushing yards. And then Brody Foley had a big game. 7 receptions for 95 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 5-yard touchdown run. North Texas at UAB. North Texas would score on 5 of their 6 possessions in the first half, and the defense would create 4 turnovers, 1 interception, 1 fumble, and 2 turnover on downs. North Texas was up comfortably at the half, 31-7. North Texas would score on 3 of their 4 possessions in the second half and just cruise to a 53-24 win. Caleb Hawkins set a North Texas record with 5 rushing touchdowns. And as the G55 freshman, our offensive freshman of the week, he had 189 yards on 27 attempts. Just kind of a game note here. Jalen Kitna, who hasn't started the last 3 weeks, I believe, got the start for UAB in this one. And let's move over to another fun game. Memphis at East Carolina. ECU would be up 7-0 after the first. Following a Lewis to Adcock touchdown in the fourth, Memphis's next drive would see Sutton Smith take it 84 yards to the house on his second carry of the game, and it would be 17-10 Memphis at the half. The Pirates forced a 3-and-out and then scored on their first drive of the half by way of Caden Hauser on the ground. The teams would trade touchdowns, and it was 24-24 after 3. With about 6 minutes to go in the game, Memphis would have a 4th and 1 on the ECU 17, and Frank Peasant would be stopped, and ECU forces a big turnover on downs. However, Hauser would later be sacked. He would fumble the ball. Memphis would get a field goal out of it. ECU would get the ball down 3 with 2:29 left. Hauser would hand the ball off once and go a perfect 5 of 5, including a 31-yard touchdown pass to Peyton Mangrum to give the Pirates a 31-27 lead with 1:08 left, and the Pirates win by that score, 31-27, and that place was rocking. That was a fun game to watch. Florida Atlantic at Tulane. Tulane got on the board first thanks to an Easton Messer muffed punt. And it would be Tulane 7-3 after 1. The momentum of this game swung around the 2-minute timeout as FAU was down 21-10. It was 4th and goal on the Tulane 1. FAU's looking to make it 21-17, but Veldkamp would be stuffed for no gain. FAU moved the ball well in the first half. It was 307 yards to 252. So FAU had more yards in the first half than Tulane. In the second half, FAU hung around, but after they intercepted Retlaff, they would turn the ball over on downs. Tulane would march the ball 51 yards down the field for a touchdown, end up going up 28-10. However, FAU did not give up. They did score a touchdown, but Tulane would respond with a touchdown of their own to go back up 19 with 4:30 left, and Tulane would go on to win this one 35-24. I do want to give kudos to the FAU players. They definitely did not give up in this one. Bowl eligible teams. There are no new teams to add this week. We continue to have 6 here. We got Tulane, Memphis, North Texas, ECU, Navy, and USF. Let's move to our Week 13 previews in our Saturday games. We've got Tulsa at Army, 12 p.m. Eastern. Army favored by 8.5 points. Over under set at 46.5 points. Man, I think I'm going. Tulsa's been playing pretty good as of late, but being at Army and just the way Army plays, they're going to limit your possessions, which is the opposite of what Tulsa does. If they turn the ball over at all, Army's going to just control this ball. I think I'm going to lay the points with Army at 8.5, but I do not love that. I might actually just take the under 46.5. And then we've got a G5 versus P4 game. Charlotte at number 4, Georgia, 12:45 p.m. Eastern. Georgia favored by 44.5. Over under set at 54.5. I'm tempted, I would be tempted to take Georgia in the points. Charlotte's got one of the worst pass defenses in all of college football, not just the G5. So I anticipate Stockton getting a chance to air it out a bit, probably do a lot there in the first half. But everything's just so big. I'm going to stay clear, but I wouldn't be surprised if they cover 44.5. Very large number. They're just clicking right at the right time, it seems like. South Florida at UAB, 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff. South Florida favored by 21.5. Over under set at 69.5. I will lay the points with South Florida. That hook there makes it a little bit tougher. They're on the road, but they have to continue winning if they're going to stay in the race here for the American. So I'm going to take South Florida. Byron Brown, they score quick. Then we've got UConn at FAU. This is a 3 p.m. Eastern kick. Let's see here. And UConn favored by 7.5 points. Over under set at 65.5. I'm going to lay the points with UConn. UConn playing dominant ball right now. This is their last game of the season. They don't have being an independent, they don't have a conference matchup the following week. So I think we're going to see Joe Fagano, Skylar Bell tear it up, Cam Edwards. Big game for UConn as they try to pour it on FAU in this one. Then we have ECU at UTSA. East Carolina favored by 2.5 points on the road. Over under set at 62.5. I'm going to lay the points with East Carolina. That defense is no joke. They're going to create havoc for this turnover-prone UTSA offense. Give me ECU laying the points there at 2.5. Then we've got number 24, Tulane at Temple, 3:45 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Tulane favored by 7.5 points. Over under set at 56.5. Tulane's just been up and down, but I think and Temple just in general has played really good football. I think I'm going to take the over at 56.5. Got a great quarterback there at Temple who's protected the ball for the most part very, very well. And then Tulane can be explosive. Defense can be had. I think I'm going to take over 56.5. Then we've got number 22, North Texas at Rice, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. North Texas favored by 17.5. Over under set at 55.5. I'm tempted to take the 55.5 because I think North Texas might do it on their own. But I think I feel more comfortable taking North Texas on the road, laying the points there with North Texas 17.5. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. On X, give us a follow. And if you're listening to us in Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, please subscribe. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. We're so grateful for the amount of support we've received, and we sincerely thank each and every one of you. The G5 Hive website's out there. I know a lot of you subscribed about that for those who play college fantasy football. We appreciate you. We appreciate the feedback. Again, word of mouth is the best way to help us grow. Retweet our stuff, like our stuff, those 5-star reviews, they all help. Like, subscribe. Be sure to join us next week as we discuss what happened in Week 13. We look forward to what's coming in Week 14. And as always, bring you up to date with the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. Until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.